Hi, I'm Steph Ostro, and I use they, them pronouns.
Hi, I'm Ashley Huster, and I use the pronoun she, her, hers.
So I'm the owner of Medicine Within, LLC, where I practice mental health counseling for folks who are trans and non-binary. It's sexuality and gender-affirming therapy for folks who are within the community and those who love us. I'm also a massage therapist and yoga instructor, and so I tie all of that together in a way where I work from the body to the mind and the mind to the body to really help folks integrate things in, I think, a novel way.
And I am the owner of Love You LLC and also the counseling service director there. I am a licensed clinical social worker, and Love You's mission is to provide eclectic and holistic mental health services, particularly to the marginalized groups of our community. That's our focus because it is known that quality and equal access to mental health care is lax. And so Love You wants to provide not only affordable access, easy access, but also different and unique to us, persons of color, individuals in the LGBTQ plus community, individuals who are disabled, any individual who honestly has been oppressed, and providing quality and unique services that focus on the mind, body, soul as well. We do that by providing counseling services. We have creative expression services through music, makeup, and we really just try to meet you where you're at and support you through your journey. Love You provides their counseling services throughout Florida and Georgia, and the creative expression services throughout the continent.
And Medicine Within offers services just in Florida. We also offer telehealth primarily right now because of COVID, so trying to keep everybody safe.
100%.
So this year marks the 21st TDOR, and we wanted to make sure that we address some things because 2020 has been quite chaotic, and in order to focus on resilience, we have to address the elephant in the room.
So there's a lot going on in 2020, obviously, and as Steph said, we kind of wanted to take the space to address all of those things. Talking about the election, the global pandemic, the increase of violence and mass racism that has been expanded upon in 2020. What else has been going on?
There's a huge intersection between all of those things, I feel, that is really important to really take notice of in ways that in the past maybe we haven't because we were too busy or because we felt shame or whatever. Like, I feel like now is our opportunity to step forward and say, okay, I have taken time to grieve, and now I'm going to move forward and have that motivate me to show up in a different way.
And I think this Trans Film Festival is exactly that space. As of November 2020, there's been 34 transgender individuals murdered in the United States. And with that information and with all the other things that we kind of briefly went over, we want to be able to put that in a space where we can appreciate what the film festival provides as community. So with that, we are wanting to dive into an empowerment meditation to help everyone at home protect your peace. So we're going to start this empowerment meditation by clearing our space, metaphorically and intentionally. So looking around you and just making sure that the clutter provides you comfort, making sure that there's minimal distraction. If you can put your feet on the ground, doing so, however is comfortable for you, sitting cross, sitting with the feet on the ground. And as you're clearing that space, mind, body, and soul, before we begin watching these videos, we wanted to make sure that everyone had a safe space to go to, as these videos may be triggering, as Steph mentioned, that intersectionality that's going on even more presently during these times. So imagine that safe space being an area, a place that you haven't visited before. It can be make-believe, it can be real. And in that space, Nothing, no one can touch you. It's a space where you may only know the code to get into, you may only know the destination, the longitude, latitude to get there. This is a space just for you, or your partner, or your friend, or whomever you're around right now, to go back into during these films that are going to be amazing and wonderful, but also maybe triggering. So take some time to close your eyes and imagine that space using all five senses, what it smells like, what you hear, what you may feel, even may look at how the wind may taste. If you're by the beach, how the salt tastes on the tongue as the wind washes the waves. And again, make sure you've never been to this space before. See how it's safe for you, so there's no intrusion. And you would get to that space, just open up your eyes and continue to have that space in your mind when we're going through this week. So with these safe spaces, let's kind of dive a little more specific about how to capture when we may feel a negative emotion, a trigger, person, place, or thing that may cause upset. So in those safe spaces, I want everyone to imagine an area, maybe it can be a container, a specific space in the environment that you're in, that all those negative energy, the worry, the fear, the angst can remain and it can't come back out. So even within 2020, there's so many things out of our control, but what we can have a bit more control of is how it impacts us. And or when we look at it and open it up and want to process and heal from it. So during these film festival experience in these films, I want everyone to imagine that container, that space, and that safe environment where you can put any negativity that may disrupt your balance or equilibrium, you feeling at peace, and place it there where only you can open it back up and look at it and view it, and nothing else can come back out without your permission.
So Ashley helped everyone to create a safe space and to clear the negative energy from that space. And now I'm going to facilitate bringing in what feels like support for you. And for some of us within the trans community, it may have been a while or maybe even never that we have felt truly seen, witnessed, and supported. And so I want you to take a deep breath in and a big sigh out and really visualize or feel what it's like for you to receive support, to feel seen, to feel witnessed, to feel held in that safe space. And if you bring a hand to your chest and a hand to your belly, and take a deep breath in and a big sigh out. And hold yourself in that space. And sometimes it can be challenging even to hold ourselves in safety. And so recognizing what comes up for you as you breathe, as you feel those breaths moving through your chest and your abdomen, knowing that right here and right now you are safe and supported. And really feeling whatever it is that you're sitting on beneath you, supporting your backside and your bum and your legs and your feet, feeling your shoulders resting, noticing if you have any pain, noticing if you don't feel certain parts of your body or if certain parts of your body feel good and relaxed. Just taking note of that. And as you move through your breathing and feeling supported in this space, notice what calls to you, what sense calls out to you. Is it your hearing? Is it that you see something moving out of the corner of your eye, if your eyes are open? Is it a feeling of vibration in your body? just notice what really catches you. And then come back to your breath and feel yourself supporting you. And know that even if right now it's uncertain that you feel supported by other people, that this feeling is something that you can share, you can have for yourself, and that you can share with other people. Sometimes it takes a while to find community and to build community, and to create that resilience that we are seeking. And having that strength within ourselves, being in touch with our breath and our body, can help to build that sense of inner community so that we can then seek outer community.
So as Steph just beautifully said, self-empowerment is honestly the foundation when we can maintain balance and protect peace when everything is a hot mess and on fire. So setting intentions doesn't mean that we're ignoring everything that's on fire, for a lack of a better term. It's truly placing that into that safe space, as we just cleared, and then asking ourselves, what are we wanting moving forward? What are we wanting to get out of the Trans Film Festival? What are we wanting with getting together with other people watching it? And so we are wanting to share our intentions in this space to kind of provide an example and, of course, be vulnerable with everyone else in this very fragile and safe and beautiful space that the Trans Film Festival holds.
Yeah. So I'll share my intention. My intention is to keep that vulnerable space in me open as I watch the films and as I engage with folks around the content of the films. And also to continue engaging with my self-care as I need it, making sure that I'm eating and hydrated, that I've got, like my fuzzy pillows and my blankets with me, and anything that might bring me back and ground me. Ashley and I talked a bit about using your senses to really engage with your present moment environment. And so that's my intention, is to stay present and keep my vulnerability with me as I move through the films.
The intentions I'm going to set for the Trans Film Festival is to obtain culture. I love that I can be present and show up for the trans community in multiple ways, and even just viewing and loving and appreciating the art and the time and the commitment and the vulnerability that is going to be expressed in these films is absolutely my intention of just being there and absorbing all of it. And continuing to take on more, to advocate, to be that ally, and because I have the energy, I have the time, and I think this is a perfect example of showing up as an ally and an advocate, and doing more for those that are marginalized, because they're tired. We're tired.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it on my face, but definitely tired.
So I definitely think the Trans Film Festival is a time where we can just be, rest, and still show up. So continuing with Steph's intentions of remaining vulnerable, we wanted to share a unique way to maintain your mental health that we both provide either at Medicine Within or Live Hue. And first, we really wanted to kind of take all of the good bits that we've been talking about with empowerment, self-empowerment, resiliency, being tired, just chaos, and grounding that into a space so we can move forward into the next few days.
So I'm going to offer a couple different ways to ground and stay present. And the first one is seemingly the simplest, but I know it was one of the hardest ways for me as a trans and non-binary person. And it's finding a safe spot in your body that you can touch and have contact with. So a pinky finger, or kick off my shoe or a toe, or an earlobe, or somewhere that genuinely feels safe for you to have contact with. And it can be, the flesh on your arm or your elbow. Very inconspicuous, yeah. So somewhere that you can touch that feels safe for you, that you can bring your awareness to when you start to feel like you've gone somewhere else. when you start to feel activated or triggered or dissociated, which are just big words to say you feel like you're not here anymore. So to come back, find that safe spot in your body and bring your awareness there. Touch it, maybe move it, whatever that looks like for you. So don't be afraid to get out of your seat. You're at home. Stand up, move around, make contact with that safe spot, and come back. So another way is to ground and become present again if you feel like you've gone to that place of being scared out of yourself, is to do a breath that it's 4 seconds of inhaling, 4 seconds holding, not a harsh hold, just a very gentle, I'm not inhaling or exhaling, and then 4-second exhale. So you can use your watch or a clock, the second hand on a clock, whatever works for you. Sometimes I rock very gently back and forth to count so that I know I'm doing a measured pace. And inhale for 4 seconds. Hold. And exhale. And again, inhale. Hold. And exhale. Find your normal breathing. Now you can do this exercise for anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes or more. It's not something it's not the kind of breath work where if you do too much of it, it's going to do anything negative to you. So if it feels good to keep that going for an extended period of time, that's okay. It can be helpful with anxiety. If you're feeling anxious about sitting down to watch one of the films, it can help bring you back that way as well. And one last way is to have time on the floor. Literally get yourself grounded. So I encourage folks, if you can, lay on your belly on the floor. So if you're watching movies on a laptop or something that you can move and position, maybe you get a blanket or a pillow and you kind of put yourself on the floor for a little while you watch, or you pause and you get on the floor and do some breathing and then come back. But getting on the floor can be a really powerful way to come back and ground. So before we move forward, we wanted to take a minute to talk about representation.
And we know that at times representation can be difficult to find, as, for example, I'm pansexual, non-binary, African-American, unicorn. So, but it's also important to just try to find within those categories something that you can relate to have that sense of community support that Steph talked about earlier.
Yeah, and in building resilience, I think it's really important and integral. It's foundational, I think, to really have exposure and representation, maybe not to people who you absolutely identify with, but exposing yourself to different kinds of people so that you feel more comfortable stepping into yourself more. And so I brought a stack of books from home, and you probably can't see them from there, but they bring me comfort and they help me ground. So I brought them with me, and yeah.
For me, which has been super different, especially with COVID, is Facebook groups. I know Facebook, we can all have our opinions on it, but however you find those groups, those online groups, just being someone who is kind of shy talking to people, having those groups, just seeing people's thoughts, opinions, statements, and them being either similar to yours, or just seeing, as you said, the confidence to use their voice has been so profound for me, finding my voice during COVID and utilizing it, not just for myself, but for the individuals that Love You serves, 100%.
Yeah, networking through social media is really powerful.
And even local support groups. I know you have yours, and other individuals around the community do. So we know finding and maintaining mental health is a privilege, but we each can find a way that we can do it in a way that is obtainable with quality. And that's what we hope that this video provides you a sense of understanding that in some shape or form you can find your peace and protect it during these times.
Yeah, and making that accessible to folks is really important to both of us, which is why we're here.
So we walked through some amazing ways to just be and protect your peace. But we wanted to shine a light on the fact that we know with those come privilege. And so we wanted to make sure that we provided another way through music, creative expression through music, that can be that safe space where you may not have that open area to do the groundwork or do the breath work. And I believe, especially for the transgender and non-binary community, at times we may not be able to just be outwardly, and so we wanted to provide another method of balance and getting back to equilibrium.
Yeah, so we listen to music as the soundtrack of our lives, and so music is a really great way to center ourselves. And Sophia is the Creative Services Director at Love Hue, and she has created some binaural beats for you. So at this time, we're going to ask you to find your headphones, if you have some, and put them on, and make yourself comfy. Get, your drink or your pillow or your blanket and set yourself up real comfy and take some time to listen to Sophia's binaural beats.
Welcome. My name is Sophia Love, co-owner and creative service director of Love Hue LLC. This is a headphone zone, so if you don't already have them on, go grab some. Warning, these beats are not suitable for individuals who are with child or are suffering from any brain, oral, or heart complications. I am an artist-producer that offers wellness through music by creating binaural and bilateral beats. These beats can be used to help with sleep, meditation, concentration, elevation, and grounding. But before we get started, take a moment to sit back and relax, find that safe space in your mind, and enjoy. We'll chat in a bit. What you're hearing is an alpha wave binaural beat. Binaural beats are an auditory phenomenon in which two tones of slightly different frequencies are played in separate ears simultaneously. When exposed to both tones at once, the human brain perceives the creation of a new third tone. The tone you're hearing in the left ear is at 432 Hz, while the one in the right is hearing at 440 Hz. The difference of 8 Hz provides you with an alpha wave. Relax, visualize, and create. Take this time to sit and enjoy the melodies. Let this music help you get in the mood for the 2020 inaugural Tampa Bay Transgender Film Festival.